let's start off with what is threat modeling in general? What is it? Like, I think that if once you understand this, AI threat modeling will make way more sense. And I want to give you a broad view of what threat modeling means. Think about like a castle. So a castle or a fortress or even your home or your a facility, whatever that you have to protect, you got to think about all the ways that someone could attack it. So they can attack it like going over the wall, going under the wall, going through the door, whatever, right? You've got to think about all the different ways that they could actually get in or attempt to get in or something like that. That's what you're thinking about. Like when you're thinking about the threats, how can they get in? Can they go under the wall? What can they do? Can they launch something over the wall? Could they try to break through the wall? Could they catch the wall on fire? Like you're thinking about all the possible things that somebody could do to get to your fortress. This is what you're doing when you're thinking about the threats. A threat is not just what bad things can happen. It's the intent and capability of that bad thing happening. So think of it like maybe for our castle, you there's earthquakes, right? There's earthquakes, but if there's earthquakes 100 miles away, there's a threat, but that threat's not on you, right? But if the capability of that, if it's right there underneath your feet, the capability is there, it's right there. So the threat has to be local to you. Like it can't be some there's always threats all over, but it has to be local to you. And it has to apply to a vulnerability. That's another thing. Is that sticking with the earthquake thing. If you live in Idaho, they don't have earthquakes there. So that's not one of your weaknesses. That's not one of your threats. It's not here with you. It's not a local thing. A better weakness might be maybe there's a whole bunch of crime there or something. Maybe cold weather is something that you have to think about. So that's the threat. Maybe it's freezing. I remember when I lived in Montana and it was so cold there that it would freeze the engine block. So you'd have to plug your car in, and that's a real vulnerability there. That the cold was something bad, a threat that could happen to your car, which has a vulnerability of freezing the engine block freezing, and then boom, your car doesn't work anymore. So there's the threat has to be combined with the vulnerability, and then you got the consequences or the impact. What is the impact? Because it could be that you don't really need a car, right? In the case of Montana, maybe the cold weather, yeah, that's bad. And I have a car, the engine block could freeze, but maybe I don't even need a car. Maybe my job's right across the street, or there's another means of transportation that I don't really need my car. So now, damn, that sucks that happened, but I have another way of getting to work, so it's no big deal. So the impact of the consequences are not that big. So the threat has to impact the weakness, and then there has to be a consequence or an impact level, and all of those equal a risk. So that applies to network security, cloud security, physical security. That can even apply to your own life. Think about it, like just walking down the street, all these things could apply. So this equation right here applies to all aspects of life. Now, how does this apply to AI is what we got to think about.